everyone, Ariella Honigsfeld here. Hope you're doing well, hope you're hanging in, hope you're getting stronger, hope it's just getting better and better in ways that we don't see but that are there. I wanted to focus on the 18th way, which was pleasure, 18th way to wisdom, and I'm going to base it on Rav Noach Weinberg's teaching. And the idea of pleasure is kind of different than the way that I initially used to understand it. When I think about pleasure, I think of an immediate cause of something an action. So for example, I have a delicious hamburger, a steak, a slice of pizza, pleasure. That is a very superficial pleasure, and the quicker that it ends, the quicker, the more shallow the pleasure is. So, but when you think of true pleasure, that's something that's everlasting. True pleasure is something that doesn't go away after, you finish drinking your can of soda. True pleasure is something that requires pain. Now, sometimes you think if you're having pain, you must be doing something wrong, or this is not going to be pleasurable if I'm having pain. But we see in life that anything that's worthwhile is going to require pain. And sometimes the more pain that's required in order to achieve it is going to be the deeper extent of pleasure that we're going to be receiving from it. So for example, a superficial example, but a good example, something that's a worthwhile investment, somebody who's training to run in a marathon. So they might say, after training for 30 days, this is too hard, I'm in too much pain, my body can't handle this. It's too much pain, it's not worth it. So it could be, but it also could be that they don't recognize that they've never invested in something that's such a deep, real pleasure that they're going to gain about the amount of effort that they were able to put into this and what they're going to get out of it. Not simply just running a marathon, but the pleasure of pulling through, of following through, of going through on a dream that you had and you didn't give up. That's a deeper pleasure. So in life, the deepest pleasures that we're going to have is going to require pain. And through this pain, the idea is not to focus on the pain, not to focus on the effort, but to always stay focused on the pleasure. What is it that I'm trying to attain? And every day that you wake up and your focus is the pleasure, then it's going to be so much easier than if you focus on the effort. So for example, quickly, let's say there's a group of high school boys playing basketball, and they love the game of basketball. And all day they're playing in the hot sun, and they're dribbling the ball, passing the ball, playing, and they're not at all noticing the heat and the exercise that they're doing and everything that's accompanying the sport, because they're not focusing on the energy and the effort. They're focusing on their passion, their love of the game. So that's the same thing we have to do in life. However, if you take away the ball from the boys, let's say you say, okay, stop, hold on 1 second, let me just do one thing, and you take away the basketball, and you said, oh, just keep playing, just a minor change, and they start playing, and they're like, it's so hot, I'm so sweaty, I can't run anymore. What happened? You were just doing the exact same thing, all I did was take away the ball. And the idea is when you take away the pleasure, when you stop focusing on the goal, then you suddenly only focus on the effort. And then you suddenly lose focus on your pleasure, on your goal. So in life, in order to attain anything that's worthwhile, we have to continue to stay focused on our goal, to stay focused on the pleasure, even when it's painful. And through that focus on the pleasure, through the pain, that's what's going to bring us the greatest level of pleasure imaginable. And Torah is one of the things that we need to invest in. And sometimes it comes through pain. It comes through a lot of effort. It comes through a lot of working on ourselves, and that's not easy. It comes through a lot of pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone. But when you focus on the goal attainment, the attainment of pleasure, of true pleasure, of spiritual pleasure, of deep everlasting pleasure, not a short-term hot dog, soda, something that's short-term, but true everlasting pleasure, you recognize that the pain is part of the pleasure. Because through that pain is where you're going to find your deepest pleasure. And when you focus on that pleasure and not on the effort that you're investing, that is how you get to the pleasure. I give us all a bracha through these difficult times that we're in, that we might not be able to feel all the pleasure right now, but through our investment in our time with our families, or if we're by ourselves, or with whatever our circumstances may present, that we recognize that this is, we're focusing on the pleasure. We're focusing on what we're going to become from this all. And instead of focusing on the effort, on the day-to-day, what makes it complicated, just keep staying focused on your goal. And through that, may we all be zocheh to grow from this experience and be on the other end a better, bigger person than we were when we came in. All my love. Good luck.